My name is Jessica Kiser. I am a preschool teacher at Allen Elementary in Floyd County. And I titled this "To Go Up in Math with Coding." First, I wanted to start off by, addressing what is coding. Coding is a series of instructions that tells a computer or another piece of technology what to do. When children are coding, they are placing step-by-step directions into a sequence. To a preschooler, coding is telling the character on the screen what to do by pressing action buttons, then pressing play for the character to do them all at once. The purpose of my project was to determine if coding applications would improve the basic math skills such as spatial relations and patterns. So first I wanted to take a look at what is spatial relations, especially for preschool children. Spatial relations in 3 to 5-year-olds include understanding shapes, size, positions, direction, and movements. Words such as up, down, over, under, behind, below, forward, backward, etc. All those positional words. Research has shown that children who have a strong spatial sense do better in mathematics. So early spatial skills account for over 70% of children's math scores when they enter kindergarten and can be viewed as the core to mathematics. Now I wanted to look at what is patterns with 3 and 5-year-olds. Patterns are considered a building block to math skills because it assists children in finding the relationships between shapes, numbers, and images that repeat in a logical way. Patterns also help children to learn to make predictions, make connections, and use reasoning skills, all which are needed for children to be successful in math once they enter kindergarten. So in my grant, I asked for 10 PBS tablets to download, and this is what they look like. And I have 2 to pass around with me. Yes, please. If you guys want to look and work pretty much like an iPad, but more child-directed, more easier for children to work. So my rationale, why I wanted to use these PBS for the coding is because technology is everywhere and it's advancing. PBS tablets come preloaded with apps and videos. They have parental controls, like you can put in there the time you want your students or children to use them, how long you want them to use it for. And then once you download those apps, Wi-Fi is not needed anymore. So the reason I picked coding to improve spatial relations and patterns is because coding encourages problem solving, experimenting, critical thinking, all which contribute to math skills. Also, Allen Elementary has a coding club for collaboration, resources, and to assist with any issues or questions. And coding is huge. So why did I want to look at math skills? Well, in our district, math has always been and remains to be our lowest area. Based on our Head Start preschool data this fall, we only had 67% 4-year-olds of Floyd County who scored at the meets or exceeds the widely held expectations of math. That's 33% leaving our program below. So, and then why did I want to really target in on spatial concepts and patterns? Because the math data, those 2 areas were the lowest of all math skills. We were pretty, good on focusing on numbers, counting, quantifying, but those 2 were always seems to be our lowest. So I took those tablets and I implemented them in various ways. Small groups, large group, free choice, and also my favorite is in the children's homes, which we'll talk about here in a second. And then with members from Allen's Coding Club. And I also focused on a skill at least twice weekly. They were available every day, but really the teaching, it was at least 2 to 3 times a week. So here are some awesome apps, which I also have a handout that has a list of applications that go with PBS tablets, or you can even download on your iPad, and it focuses on the math skills that I'm talking about today. And the chicken dance. So, no. And I probably can't get that to play, can I? Will it play videos? Want to play videos? Okay, that's okay. I had a video, and what it was, I sent the tablet home with this little girl, and this mom wrote me, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you got to hear my child. You got to hear her talk." And this little girl was in the video going, "I'm going around and around. Look, Mom, I like going around." And it was just really cute, and I'm so sad that it won't play. This was also a video. I'm sorry, I didn't know they didn't play videos. And this was their favorite pattern game. So on these applications, like it had this pattern, he would ask you what to come next. What I love about this app, is it going to play? Oh, we have to go back there.
What dance step should this last chicken do?
And again, what I loved about this app is that it would not let the child go on to do the other pattern unless they mastered that first one. Can we go back to the other slide video? Thank you. It's so cute. I blocked her out. So.
Rounds, Mom.
Yeah.
Round, round, round.
I like going around. That's my favorite part of the video. And the parents were just amazed that their children knew these words. And also, you know, we educated parents on that these words are important to their child for math skills and in kindergarten. Thanks to Alan's coding team, Allen Elementary, Miss Isaac, she was wonderful with us. She introduced us to this activity of coding with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Well, when you take a 3 and a 5-year-old and you ask them, what's the first thing you do when you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Well, you put the peanut butter on the bread. Well, what are you going to do first? And it was really hard to get them to understand the concept of, well, first you got to open the jar. Or first you have to open the spoon, then open the other jar, then open the bread. It really broke simple daily things down into step-by-step tasks, which was really amazing to see them do. And as you can see, we invited parents in to do this activity with us. And then here's just a picture of a little girl working on the app at the house. And then coding with peers. This is one of my favorites because this little boy from the coding club was very frustrated with the app, and then a student in my child was, you know, showing him how it's done and what she could do. So the results for all of this is in the fall. This is my data in the fall. I had 31% below when looking at spatial relations. 31% met and about 36 exceeded. Well, in the winter data, I only had 10% below, 42% met, and 47% exceeded. This, I think, seemed the greatest, was the spatial, using those positional words, really, with coding, was awesome. We're looking at the pattern data. We had 10% below, 42 met, and 47 in the fall. In the winter, that should say winter, it's spring. We had 10, 21 met, and then 68% exceeded, like even went above and beyond, you know, what I was asking them to do. So it was really awesome. Suggestions. If I was to do this again, I would research those apps more. I think I spent more time finding those apps and those skills rather than implementing them. That's pretty much all I did. I also involved parents from the beginning rather than waiting to the end, because due to the success and the amount of involvement that I've seen with their parents was amazing. I felt the project was very successful. Children were engaged in learning as they were having fun. Both skills seen a great amount of growth. I was really impressed with how much growth was made regarding that spatial relations that you've seen. That's it. Any questions?